So one of the worst businesses right now that I'm hearing, and I talk to people, and I had a conversation just last weekend with an individual that I'm not gonna mention names here in San Diego that is running a restaurant group. So they have restaurants, bars, they've been in the business a long time. They just did another big acquisition, and they actually consult for restaurants too. And what I'm hearing, it's not good. And the reason why I want to come on today and talk about the pain in the restaurant business is because we're not hearing it. You don't hear from the feds, you don't hear from economists. I am not hearing loud and clear that our decision makers on rates are saying the economy's this way or it's good or bad. You're not seeing it in the stock market. You're not seeing the S&P. You're just not seeing it. You are not seeing and hearing the real pain that these restaurant owners are going through right now. And the reason why I'm picking on or talking about the restaurant business is because I think that this is just one sector of many that is struggling on many different issues. I don't think it's just restaurants. I think it's small businesses that are just suffering right now. They're not getting enough attention. There's obviously a lot of people that are employed, I think, that they're holding on to. And if things don't change with the consumer behavior, there could be a depression in the future. And why would I talk about restaurants on my channel when we talk about real estate? And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I truly believe that I don't need to sit here and listen to Jerome Powell or everybody else get up there and talk about what they know or they don't know. I just have a different opinion on what I think the Fed and the government and where interest rates will go, because I am listening to the small business owners that I know. And I can tell you right now, I'm not hearing jumping for joy, record years, this is great. And I'm not talking just one sector. Whenever I go in anywhere, if you guys heard me on this channel, I always talk to small business. How's it going? How's the customer? What's going on? And so today, I really want to dive into the restaurant business. Number one, what is affecting the restaurant business and why this is probably what's happening in other businesses. Because you notice that the news is like, well, the Fed's like, oh, well, we meet with business owners all the time and all these Fed officials, right? Great. Who do you meet with? What do you mean the economy's doing okay? It's the has been and has nots. So anyways, if we've never met, my name is Kenny Simpson. I actually am not in the restaurant business. I actually do mortgages for a living, and I focus on 1 to 4 units. Whether you're purchasing a refi, I can be your guy. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, you're in the military, you want to use a conventional FHA, or you're a sophisticated real estate investor, or you're a self-employed individual, I can help you out. So if you ever want to get in contact, please reach out to me. I've been doing this for 20 years, helped over 5,000 clients, funded billions of dollars of loans, and I shoot videos like this to help you break down all the noise and nonsense what's going out there. And that's why today I'm shooting a video to talk about restaurants, because I think what's going on in restaurants is going on in a lot of other small businesses, but I think restaurants is 100% going through a recession. And if things don't change, soon it will be a depression. And I think that statement is not a lie. So anyways, okay. So this last weekend, I was having a conversation with somebody that's in the restaurant business. And so we talk 2-3 times a year, okay? In person. And so I was talking to this person, how's business going? What's going on? What are you seeing? This is a person that's running many restaurants, bars, like high-end restaurants, bars, things like that throughout San Diego, okay? So has a good footprint. This is another person that is involved pretty much in the industry and knows what's going on with competitors. This is another business that also consults for restaurants. This is another person that could even buy restaurants. So the amount of calls, the amount of things they're hearing is not good. We're not talking 50, 60, 70. We're probably talking more 80+% of restaurants right now are either losing money or breaking even. They are not making money. I'm not talking about the restaurant that's located right over here, that's on the beach, that's a staple, that everybody knows about, that's crushing it. And remember, a restaurant that crushes it, just so you guys know, the restaurant that you're gonna go in San Diego that you're like, that thing's always busy, it's cranking, they probably make net profit, their margins are somewhere between 10 and 15%. Let me repeat, the restaurant margins are somewhere around 10 to 15%. That is it. So if you hear a restaurant that's doing $10 million, $15 million, though, they're not making $5 million. They literally are making probably 10%, 15%. So do the math. It's not terrible, but it's a lot of expenses. There's a lot of moving parts. And after the pandemic, what they've had to face when it comes to minimum wage, the cost of insurance, the cost of utilities, oh yeah, here we go, the cost of supplies, the goods, and all of that. And right now, what are they dealing with? They're dealing with a consumer when they used to go out and say, hey, for a family of 4, we can go to our favorite restaurant. It could be X. That used to cost us $75, $100, $200. Now, the $125 dinner is $200 or $225. The consumer knows, and I did some research, whether it's McDonald's, fast food, dine-in, extreme, all this. Basically, let's just be honest, guys. The prices of stuff have probably gone up at the minimum 30%, all the way up to probably about 100% when you go out and dine. You and I know that. So let's say on the average, it's probably 50% higher to go out and eat. So I asked this person, I said, okay, this doesn't sound good, not at all. So we had this conversation because we were talking about the new Fed official that's coming in, and do you think they're going to cut, or what do you think is going on? This person looks at everything like, I don't understand. What do you mean things are great, hunky-dory? No, they're not. They're not good at all. And so before we dive in to some of that stuff I just talked about, we got to back the train up here a little bit. We got to back up because unfortunately we went through this period, the pandemic, COVID, whatever you want to call it. And the bad news about that is a lot of things changed since then. But here's the thing now that we're able to look at. We're literally so far out from that moment of time where we all thought, oh my God, are we going to die? Or what the hell is going to happen? And we got locked in our house and we all couldn't spend money. And we were forced to do what? We were forced to stay home. We were forced to save money. We were forced to pay down our debt. We got to refinance at crazy low rates. We got money from the government, our businesses, our checking accounts. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It was like bada bing, bada boom. So let's go back to that time. COVID hits, we get locked in. Stock market goes down, all of a sudden it just starts going boom. Real estate pauses for 6 weeks, goes boom. The rates go drop, right? Everything's bonkers. They're throwing trillions of dollars and more trillions of dollars at businesses, trillions of dollars at people, right? And what are people doing? They're sitting at home. Can't do anything. The savings rate went from 5% to 35%. The credit card debt went from $1 trillion, paid down to about $700 billion. Now that credit card debt is back up to what? $1.2 trillion. That savings rate that was at 35%, that was at 5%, is back down now to 5%. That COVID money you got, spent. So think about this. We come out of COVID, and what happens? Demand through the roof. I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to restaurants. I want to go here. I want to go there. We got flights. We got restaurants. We got bars. We got hotels, tips, everything. So when you came out of COVID, that $200 dinner right now that you're paying, you don't care, pay it. That $20 drink, pay it. That expensive Uber, pay it. That person that's got to get tipped more, pay it, pay it, pay it. We were paying it. We didn't care because people are flush with money. They got their credit cards paid off. They were ready to spend. They were ready to get out of the cage, and they're ready to have what? A freaking really good time. And guess what happens after all great parties? Well, there comes the hangover. And after the hangover, there's the depression. And well, folks, we are now in the restaurant business and the bar business and things like that. We're in a hangover. Not to mention with the restaurants, I didn't even mention one critical thing that has happened. That consumer to go pay $125 for the meal, now that's $200. I'm just picking a number, folks. It could be anything. The McDonald's that you paid, $30-$40 for, now it's $70, right? The burrito you paid $7, now it's $15. Whatever it is, I'm just telling you, it went up way too quick, way too fast, way too much. We could pallet it when we came out. We had the savings. We had the money from the cash out refi, or maybe they tapped in the HELOC, or we used their credit card. But what's happening is everybody's out of cash. Their credit cards are tapped, and they can't go out and eat. So what are they doing when they go out? Well, they're cutting on appetizers. They're not having the 2-3 drinks. They're splitting meals. The consumer, and they're not going out as much. And when they do go out, they spend less. This is across the board in restaurants. Go ask somebody that owns a restaurant, unless it's some crazy restaurant that's been around forever, has a great, following, whatever. That's the 10% of them, or the 5%, or the 1%, whatever you want to call it. That's not the ordinary. I'm talking about the everyday mom and pop restaurant. Also, this is the type of stuff that's happening across tourism and things like that. It's starting to show. The consumer, yeah, they're maybe keeping up, but they're slowly falling behind. The consumer last year is weaker than the consumer this year. Why? Because I just ask. It's very simple. They're not showing up. So let's break down the restaurant business just like anything else. You're a restaurant owner. You've got to pay rent. Has that gone up or down? I don't know. You got to pay insurance. Has that gone up or down? I can answer that one. It's definitely gone way up. Utilities, way up. Supplies, way up. Oh, payroll, labor, way up. Up. What can you not do right now anymore? You cannot raise your prices. That's why I asked them. If we raise any more, they won't come because they're barely coming. We're holding on. Here's one other thing that I didn't even mention that is now becoming one of the biggest problems. It's not just from the restaurants or the bars. Go talk to somebody that's been in wine sales. Seriously, if you know somebody that sells wine for a living or been doing it, when you watch this video, call them immediately and ask them how their business is. Not good. Go talk to liquor. Somebody that owns massive liquor, Bacardi them. Year over year, they are losing sales. Never happened in history. The young kids that go out, that our age used to go out and party and drink and do all that, they're not doing it. They're just not drinking. They're doing different things. So on top of that, are restaurants also dealing with people not drinking as much? So what does it have to do with real estate? Because this is the type of stuff that is happening everywhere. Whether you own a property, your property taxes have gone up, your insurance has gone up. We need to fix something, the labor has gone up. Interest rates have gone up. The price of it's gone up. So I'm just saying the restaurant business is in a recession. They're getting crushed. So I will ask everybody, how do you fix this problem? I asked, how do you fix it? What are you going to do? So the answer was, I said, you guys sit around the table, you talk about this stuff. What are you going to do? What is the solution? Well, solution is, what are restaurants doing? Not necessarily them. Restaurants, if you walk in, you might go, wow, it seems like they have less staff. Another thing they're not going to tell you is, oh, we're just getting cheaper ingredients. Another thing they're going to do, oh, they're just going to give you the same price they're going to charge you. We're going to give you smaller portions. They're hoping their insurance starts going down. They're hoping utilities start going down. They're hoping the cost of supplies and food like that will start coming down. They do know that the minimum wage before COVID in California, that was $11, that is now almost $17.50 in the restaurant business, and the fast food is $20. That's not going back down. But they realize their labor has gone up. Look at the math, 60, 70, 80% higher. So I said, what's the solution? Because how about you can't control insurance, utilities, and all this stuff? Like, what are you going to do? So the answer was interesting. Well, we have to wait. What are you waiting for? We have to wait and hope that the consumer, just like as life goes on, they got used to rates at 6%. They got used to gas at $4 here in California. They got used to this. They're hoping that the consumer is going to get used to, are you ready? Instead of $125, you're just going to have to spend $200. Well, but they don't have the money. Well, we're hoping they're going to start making more money. Okay, got it. Now I'm picking up what you're laying down. How much longer can you hold on? How much longer? Well, we're experienced. I know you're experienced. How much longer? We can't go on probably like this more than 2 years. 2 years? 2 years? What about the other restaurants? I don't know. So you're telling me we're going to start seeing restaurants close left and right potentially in the next 12 to 24 months? Yes. So that's massive layoffs? Yes. Holy smokes. So most restaurants are breaking even or losing money? Yes. So folks, do I have your attention? Am I scaring you? Absolutely. So here's where this all adds up. And do you hear anybody, the economists, the feds, talk about that economy? Nope, I'm not hearing it. But you and I know we live it. We go out and eat, we're like, that's insane. That's expensive. That's too much. It doesn't matter how much money you have. I've watched so many interviews, if you guys know me, podcast interviews, even the billionaires that go out and eat go, wow, I don't remember costing that much. You know why? Because billionaires think about this shit. They're smart. Really? Didn't it used to cost for two of us to have a nice bottle of wine and steak and all this? $500 here? I thought it was like $300. No, it used to be $3. Oh, okay. So we need the consumer to get used to this. Are you going to get used to this? I guess over time we would. We get used to a lot of shit. So here's my point to all of this. And this is why I wanted to talk about the restaurant business, because this is a business that is hurting. Go look at it. Go research it. Go ask people about it. It's tough. Very, very tough. They are in a recession, soon to be in depression if something doesn't happen. Or did they get bailed out? Another bailout. They got bailed out during COVID, obviously. Then they came out, boom, record year, just crushing it, making tons of money. And then slowly, here we are. But this is, like I said, so many industries, so many things. I'm just talking about the restaurant, but I'm picking on them because it's a conversation I had, and this is my whole point. So now, here comes a new Fed official in. And this is my 2 cents. If inflation is fact where we're at now, and this is where we have to live, where you're telling me the government, can you get the utility down? Can you force insurance to come down? I already gave you a video on insurance. They had a record profit year, 166 billion in 24. We don't have 25 out. In their normal year is 50 billion. 50, 100, 150, almost 4 times what they usually can make. Who's getting screwed here? Utilities, really? They have to keep jacking our utility? They do? Do they? So a restaurant, maybe they can negotiate their rent with the landlord. They don't want to lose them. What about utilities? What about the cost of food they have to buy, the supplies, all that? What about the labor? We can't touch the labor. Nobody's going back to $11 an hour, folks. It's not going to happen. So how do we get out of this? How do you, the consumer, get used to $200? Oh, you got to make more money. You got to work harder. You got to have a side hustle. You got to get a raise. You got to get bonuses. So that means we got to grow our way out of this. So if we're sitting here between a 2 and 3% inflation, whatever this number is that the feds make up, I don't even care at the data anymore. I'm just trying to tell you, this is the reality we're living in right now. If we got to get ourselves out of it and we're basically sitting in neutral and we're getting punished, we have to move forward. So how do you move forward? You got to cut rates. So one of the smartest things I heard is a business person. I don't remember who it was. It was quick. I heard on CNBC. I didn't save the video. He simply said, we've been living with 3% inflation for a while. We're still maintaining, folks. We're not in a depression. We're not in a recession. Yes, some sectors are, which I think the government really needs to start paying attention, like other sectors in a recession. Commercial real estate in 23, damn depression. Getting better now. Residential agents, a lot of them are just getting crushed. Loan officers, like they say, the 10% make 90% and the rest make whatever's left over, right? That's just how it is in real estate. Small business owners, small companies, small business, they're getting crushed. Insurance, labor, the whole thing we just went through at restaurants, whatever it is. We got to grow away out of it. We got to get going here. So sitting in neutral where the rates are, it's not doing anything for us. So we're so worried about inflation that might come, might not. How do we know it's going to come? Powell just went from this and just jammed the rates up. So here's the thing is, this guy said, if we're living in 3% and we keep, what are we going to do sit here year over year and sit in neutral? No, we've got to grow ourselves out of it. We got to get going. We cannot sit here and wait for inflation to come down. Because honestly, like I just told you, the insurance companies are taking advantage of us. They literally are taking advantage, and they know it. 100% they know it. How do you have record profits when we're all sitting here going, dude, of course you, no wonder you do. That's like if gas went up to $8 across the country everywhere when California, hell, we're already paying it here. Everybody's like, and they announced, wow, the gas companies had record profits. Usually it's 20 billion, they made 200 billion. Well, no shit. So why don't we hit the gas? Why don't we cut rates? Why don't we get aggressive? Because we know that will stimulate, that will get things moving. Because right here, sitting in neutral in this thing where things aren't getting better, like I said, I'm right here with you. It's the affordability factor. It's affordability for everybody. Because at some point, all this shit that we keep paying for keeps going up and up, you're not going to pay. And what happens, folks, is if you wait too long to do this, if you don't do some action now and you wait, you will have a recession or a depression. This is what happens. And if you have a recession, like I tell people, it fixes a lot of problems, not in the right way. It's not fun. Recession happens, rates will go down. We will get busier. People in real estate will be able to refi. They'll be able to buy. Things will get more affordable. But those poor restaurants, they're going to get crushed because you're not going to go spend money. So we need to stimulate way out of this. We need to grow. And that's our option. Sitting here in neutral and waiting and praying for things to happen and relying on the government, bad idea. They need to get out of the way. Let's get these rates down and let us move forward so we can grow our wages, pay down debt, get out of this mess, refi. Look, people are sitting on 2-3%. A lot of people can just refi. They have all the equity, consolidate some debt, pay off their credit cards, get in a better position, and be in a better position, whether it's for the business, the economy, whatever. So not everybody's going to sit here and agree with me, but what I'm saying is, then what is the solution? Because we have $38 trillion of debt that they're not really doing anything about. And we're sitting here in neutral and we can't grow our way out of it. So I think you're going to see some new things come out about this, about growing our way out of it, about deregulating, the banks getting out there, start lending towards people. And just so you guys know, the banks have been sitting on their cash, giving it to the government. And I don't know how many years is over, 3 years, 5 years over. They got paid $500 billion in interest to park their money with the government so they didn't lend it to you and I to help those small businesses, help things grow and move and get the blood flow in this economy. So anyways, guys, that's it for this week. Hopefully I scared you. Next time you're at a small business or restaurant, anybody, ask them how they're doing, spark a conversation. You'll be surprised what you hear. You might hear some depression. You might hear, wow, this sucks. But guess what? This is the US. This is where we live. This is the world we live in. And we all have to deal with reality. And the reality is sitting in neutral, doing nothing is not good. All these politicians and all this, do they really know what's going on? I wonder, because I don't hear these stories. Every time I talk to small businesses, what I hear on the news, on economists and all this, I'm not hearing here. So I don't know if they live in a different world than you and I do, but I know that every time I turn around, the prices keep going up and up and up, and everything costs more. They want to tack on this, parking meter this, and taxes for this. It's unbelievable. So at some point, this shit's got to stop. So if I can help you, let me know. Hope you liked the video, share it with somebody, and go talk to those entrepreneurs and small business owners and give them some love.